Your family and friends are supposed to be a trampoline for your dreams and a sanctuary for your heart and soul. But what about when they're not? Okay, so I just recently finished my deep dive masterclass on trap number 12, which is unsupportive friends and family. And if you've been following me on my other account or know anything about what I do, I have my empowered birth system, which is basically number 5 is the right support. So it's right mindset, right education, right environment, right facilitators, right support. And I'm very clear that if you don't have the right support, it affects your right mindset. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. And I recognized very early on, when I was going for my dreams and becoming a birth advocate, that people were really pushing back. People were pushing back against me and trying to scare me out of my home birth too. They were always trying to talk me out of things that I wanted to do. And I used to think that it was just because I couldn't do it, that I was the problem, that I was asking for too much, that I was too much, or that I was not enough as I was. And I internalized that, and I really had a lot of things that held me back towards my dreams. Not today. Today I can go in and I can talk to friends and family about what I'm doing, and I can use the surface level, and it doesn't bother me if they don't see my vision. It doesn't even bother me if they get triggered by what I say. I have a little motto that I'm awesome and they're triggered. Now, this isn't to say this with the ego. This is to say this with the heart and soul. They are triggered. That is not my work to do. As long as I stay in integrity and as long as I clean up my side, I can let them have what Annie Lala calls the coping dance. So this has allowed me to stay very strong and focused on my dreams and very protective of my energy. And this is why that matters. Your energy, your time, your focus is the most important thing. You can always get more money, but you can't get more time. You can't get more energy. And if you're focused on the wrong things, the things that other people tell you to focus on, then you're never going to get your own dreams. So I stand for true, authentic love in all of my connections, and I also have set strong boundaries on my own worth and my own time. I will not stay in spaces where I don't fit. I won't stay in spaces where people are trying to tear me down. I will stand for others who need that support, and I will be a guide and I will be a light. But as my dear friend Janelle Otto says, you are your own lighthouse. So I basically have decided now that I am not giving away my time and energy for free. I will give information. And this is part of my path, is Carly Uncensored, and all of my videos that I put out is so that I can protect my time and energy. But today, as I was creating this actual masterclass on unsupportive friends and family, I went into the categories of resistance and fear. What's really pulling people back? What's really having them hurt you? Maybe not even intentionally, because they're not category 5. You cannot thrive with a category 5. They really just want to put you under their thumb. They really just want you to mind. They really just want to control the outcome so that they look shiny and not you. But with categories 1 through 4, there's something else going on. And I really wanted to address this outside of the space of birth, in addition to what I've done in this deep dive masterclass. So if anybody is waiting for those deep dive masterclasses and you are following the Empowered Birth Method, my Empowered Birth series, then this is a little teaser of what's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So I can't even remember whereabouts in the schedule we're at, but I think tomorrow is video number 5, trap number 5, and this was trap number 12. So that gives you an idea of just how far into the future this is coming. But what I've really noticed, I love psychology. And I love to watch the hidden motivations of people. And now that I'm strong in my self-worth and I've gotten past my own fear traps, and I'm able to recognize, well, what am I afraid of? What fear trap have I fallen into? How do I get out of it? And I use my 5-pillar system to do that, and my Phoenix method to be like, okay, I'm afraid of this. What thing do I need to put in place to protect me so that I can use that as a trampoline and safety net if I need it, and a cocoon so I can go in and become the butterfly that can go to that next level. Because there's always a next level, and the other side of fear is the thing you want most. So you need to go through that fire. You need to burn up, and you need to rise like the phoenix. But in order to do that, you need to get past your fear first. So make sure that you check out some of my other videos if you are not yet in that place of being able to transcend your fears. Because other people can and will project their own fears and limitations onto you. But some of them are just there to walk you to a certain point in your journey. Some of them are there to show you what you have already transcended, and that you're not that same person anymore, that you're stronger. Think of it like a video game. You basically go in and you see these shadow bosses and things that you have to fight in the dark, all these little monsters. And based on your level of where you're at, that is going to be really easy, and you smack them with your keyblade once and they're gone. Or you have to smack them several times. Or maybe you get your ass handed to you, in which case you're like, I can't go after the big boss yet. This one is still handing my ass to me. If I can't beat this one, how do I think that I'm going to be able to tackle that big boss over there? I can't. I'm going to get my ass handed to me. I might get by with the skin of my teeth, but I won't be able to replicate it. And if for whatever reason I have to come across that again, it may be harder for me to do it a second time. You can't rely on luck. You can't rely on cheats. You need to be able to actually go through the game and play it. Because if you just rely on cheats, what if you run out of cheats? This was one of the things that I had to learn when I was going through games, is that, yeah, I could use the cheat code, but then I never actually learned how to play the game properly. So when you look at your friends and family, they are either going to be helpful guides to show you your magnificence that you forgot, or hand you a treasure, like the NPC characters who suddenly give you some magic item that you need to complete your quest that you didn't realize that you would need. They give you that missing piece. Or you get a nice companion that joins you on your quest, and they have skills that you don't have yet, such as in Kingdom Hearts, Tarzan joins the team before Sora learns Cure. So Tarzan is able to use that Cure magic, which is like, sweet, I've got that magic without me having to earn it yet. And then once I earn it, I can now heal myself. So you get those skills. Obviously, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. Also, Final Fantasy, Tales of Symphonia. I just love the RPG world because there's always another level. And I love to go and complete those and find the hidden treasures. I've even adapted this to my own way of teaching and my business. The deeper you go with me, the more treasures you uncover. And I've embedded it in my transcripts. Like, it's just a never-ending wonderland, a little game within a game within a game. But if you look at that with your friends and family, it's also a game. It's the game of seeing, where are you now in the level? Is this person going to be a helpful team member who can join you on your quest? Or are they now an NPC character that maybe you went on a smaller quest with them in the past, but now they're giving you a map of something that you forgot? I have friends that I hadn't seen in years, old college friends that were just like, we were really close at one point, and now they're just classmates that I now get into connection with, and we can get that friendship going again. And they're like, when I first saw you, I was really intimidated, and then you talked to me, and I'm like, you were intimidated by me? I was a nerd back then. It's like, no, you were always magical. You didn't see that? You didn't see your power? No, I didn't see it then. Now I do. But I didn't see it back then. Why didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't think that you would actually not know about it. I thought you already knew what your power was. No, I didn't know that. So, you need to be a mirror for people. Find every single opportunity that you can to reflect their own magnificence back to them. I'm constantly doing this with my kids. Yes, my kids know Mama loves them. Mommy absolutely loves them and thinks they hang the moon in the sky. I will also tell them when I see something brilliant in them. They don't have to say, well, I assume my mom loves me. I mean, she's never told me about my magic. No, my kids will know their magic. So the right friends and family around you need to see your magic, and they need to actually be able to lift you up without expecting anything in return. They need to just do it, because there's certain people that will lift you up just to tear you down. They'll lift you up just so that they can get something out of you later. Those are category 5s. You cannot thrive with a category 5. They build you up and then they just do it just to tear you down, just to have that satisfaction or to get something out of you. And they take and they take and they take. But we're not going to talk about the category 5s today because I think we kind of know about the category 5s. And if you want to know more about category 5s, I'm going to go deeper into this in the future. But what about categories 1 through 4? Well, in the terms of your friends and family, the first one is the fear of your failure. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to get hurt. They don't want you to suffer. So their vision for you is to protect you. But they may not see your vision as safe. They see it as scary. I want to go and start a business. Oh no, you'll fail. And then, I don't want to see you fail. Your dreams will be crushed. No, just stay here. I'm going to go and get married to this person. Oh, no, you don't want to get married. No, because you know that then bad things happen in marriage. You just stay single. I'm going to go have a home birth. No, that's not safe. That's not safe. You don't want to do that. All of those fears. It's like the crabs in the bucket. You have a big bucket of crabs and one crab will try to crawl out because they know that they need to get to freedom. The other crabs are pulling them back in. That is the fear of category number 1. And your friends and family can fall into more than one of these categories. But they're afraid and they want you safe. They love you. They don't want to lose you. The next one is number 2, category number 2, fear of their own limitations. So because they weren't able to go for their dream, or they were too afraid, or they don't have that skill, they can't see that for themselves, so they don't see it for you. But if you go for it, what does that say about them? Now they have to basically look at themselves and they have to be like, wow, this person that I saw them as like me, but now they're going for their dreams and I can't do that. That's their own fears, their own limitations. They have their own path. And, maybe it's not the same thing that you're doing. Maybe their path isn't to speak. My dear friend Jenny, her path is to learn. And I am standing for it. She's like, I'm not a speaker. I don't really want to speak. I can speak, and she's good at it. And she's done interviews with me, and she's taught on mindset. But that's not her path where she lights up the most. She lights up the most by learning from others and then passing on that wisdom. So Jenny goes and learns something, and then she teaches it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, write a blog post. I'll share the crap out of that blog post once you've got it up. She's learning some really cool stuff right now, and she's giving me the little hints. I'm like, well, wait till you process it some more, because I know that that's what you need to do. And then when you're ready, teach it to me. We'll have to set some time aside, of course, because we're likely to go for 3 hours chatting on this thing. Because that's what happens when I get in my friend groups with people that really do align with me. And, you have to recognize that. There's people out there that they just don't have that skill. They don't have that drive. they're comfortable where they are at, and they want you to be there too. But you're not. But what does that say about me if you go off and do that? Oh, you must be judging me. No, that's their stuff. That's their stuff they need to work through. You can love them and you can say, hey, I still love you just the same. Maybe you're not going to go off and you're not going to do that. That's okay. I'm sure you've got so many other magical gifts. Here's the gifts that you have. Here's what I see for you. And if you want to fly with me, hey, I'll bring you up. You can come fly with me for a little bit. If it's too high for you, of course, we'll go lower to the ground for a bit, but this is how high I'm flying. I'm flying this high. I'm doing this. If that's not something you can do, you can come part of the way in my journey and you'll be inspired. And maybe you'll go for it. Maybe you'll realize that actually you can fly that high. Actually, you are a swan. You're not a duck. You're a swan. You can go with me. But if you're not, I'm not going to make you wrong for it. Hey, you're a duck. You're swimming. You're doing other things that ducks do. So you don't make somebody wrong for being a cat or a dog when you're a bird. You just don't. That they have their own thing that they're doing. So recognizing that they're dealing with their own limitations, and you can just love them into their own greatness and show them the things that maybe you can't do that thing that they do, but you can bring them along on your team. And so this is what I do. I find the magic of my friends and my family, and I'm like, hey, I don't know how to do that thing. That thing is not in my area of genius. That thing is not even on my radar. However, I'm collecting pieces and I'm putting them out there. So if somebody needs that thing, I'm going to tell them about you and I'm going to send them your way because you know that thing. That's your map. That's not my map. That's your map. So I'm going to send the people to you to go to the source. I'm not going to steal your map on you. I will take parts of your map that I can adapt for myself. But other than that, no, that's your map. And it's an awesome map. It's just not my map. And that's okay. So I actually wrote these down, of course. But another one, category number 3, cultural conditioning. The box. We're all expected to fit in the box. We started school. We were told that we had to all do things at a certain level. There was an assembly line culture. Things are changing now. The kids are learning their own unique ways of being in the world. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect system. And it is shifting, where a lot of kids are now adapting to their own unique ways of learning, their own unique ways of being, and they're finding their own superpowers. It's not one size fits all. But there was a time where everybody needed to just get married and have kids, even if that wasn't right for them. Everybody got a job at a certain point, and they all worked in the factory, and nobody else went outside of the factory, and that's what you did. And that was your job. That was your career. You go in and you just do what everybody else is expecting you to do. It wasn't about being happy. It was survival. And we had that idea that anybody who stepped outside of that was an outsider. It was a brilliant idea back when we were hunter-gatherers to all kind of have similar views, because that would save us from the elements and from the tigers and the other animals that would eat us. It doesn't work today. Today, we need engineers, we need architects, we need people who are really into programming and AI, we need people who have those soft skills, we need psychiatrists, we need psychologists, we need teachers, we need people that are building, that are really good with their hands. We need all types of people, and all types of people matter. But if somebody's in cultural conditioning and you happen to grow up in a family system and had all your friends where they're all doing a certain type of job, or they all have a certain type of mentality, and you have always been different, you're thinking bigger things than they are, that gets confronting. Because now suddenly you're stepping outside of the system. They don't know your way. They don't know how to be an entrepreneur. They don't know how to be a coach. They don't know how to be a speaker. They don't know how to be a writer. No, you went to school, you got a good job, and then you went and did that job and you made a good living. They don't know how to be in the world that you're now in. It's foreign to them. It doesn't make any sense. It's like expecting an NPC character to basically now take on the role of programmer. That's not what they're designed to do. So recognizing that you might actually be the programmer. You might actually be the architect of the game. And other people are playing within it. And they're part of your system, but they're not meant to go to that deeper level with you. And that's okay. So if they feel that you're going against the box, the system, and they don't like it because they feel safe in that box, they're going to push back against you for daring to step outside of that box. And then category number 4 is the feeling that they're going to lose access to you. The disconnect that happens. Well, you don't love me anymore because I can't fly as high as you. You found out I'm a duck. I'm not a swan. I'm a duck. I can't do what the swans do. I'm always going to be a duck. So, can we even hang out? Yeah, we can still hang out. Maybe not as much as we used to. I'm a swan. I gotta fly where the swans are. But, I'm still gonna come back to the barnyard and I'm still gonna visit you. I'm still gonna love you. As long as you're not hurting me, I'm gonna love you. The thing is that if you're hurting, you have to be able to sit with those feelings. Because if you can't sit with those feelings and you keep projecting onto me and making me wrong, making me too much, making me not enough, and basically acting like I'm judging you when I'm not, I'm sorry, I got to protect my energy. I can't thrive in that. And so then, of course, you've got the category 5s that just have to be awesome. They were deeply wounded. They were deeply, deeply wounded. And they've created their own system and their own way of being and their own little world, and they are the star. And they can't share the spotlight. And you have to be okay to let them go. You have to be okay to set those boundaries. So, the thing about this, understanding the psychology, those who truly love you, if they're hurting you, it's their stuff. If they say you don't love me when you did nothing wrong, and you truly have examined and been like, did I say it? Okay, I'm going to put it through ChatGPT and see what the tone is. No, I was in integrity. I was speaking from my heart. It wasn't a closed heart. It was the truth. I wasn't making them wrong. There's no shame here. No, that's their internalized shame. Okay. I can deal with that. That's their shadow. That's not me. I know where I'm actually at in my shadows. I know that when I'm triggered, that's not always on them. That's usually a me thing. That means I need to set a boundary, or I need to see somebody less, or I need to work on myself. That's what it means. So recognizing you're awesome, they're triggered. And they're awesome, you're triggered. So recognizing that, you need to see that you are enough, just as you are. If you're feeling like somebody is hurting you, but their intentions are good, their intentions were just to fly, and you were just intimidated by them flying because you thought that meant something bad about you, that they would look down on you. True friends and family don't look down on you. Queens and kings share the spotlight with their court. The true kings and queens will share the spotlight, and they will see other kings and queens not as enemies to go to war with, but allies. Because you need allies. Think about it. If there's somebody who's trying to just seize all of the power and control and hurt everybody else around them, what do? can't just do it on your own. You need your allies, right? So you can't think that you're superior. Because when you think that you're superior to everybody else, then you can end up becoming the true villain. Because now it's your way or the highway. That is not a way to be, my friend. Not at all. So even in my business, as high as I plan to go, with my empire of influence, as many people as I plan to support, I'm just a queen. I'm the queen who built the empire. And I'm sharing the spotlight. Why not? I don't have all of the pieces. People bring the pieces to me. And I'm not going to hoard the information. Information is free. People only pay for access to me and my energy. I am enough as I am. My energy is just so vibrant, so powerful, so magnetic. And some people, they can't handle it yet. And they can get there. If they really want to be around me, they can get there. And the same thing for you. You are enough. Go fly. Go find your superpowers. Find the trampolines for your dreams, the sanctuaries for your heart. Even when you start to get triggered, know that the people who truly love you, if they have the best intentions for you, and maybe they were actually pointing out something where it's like, hey, I noticed this in here, and it caused a wince, or it's causing problems for you, and I can see it on the outside that it's causing a problem, you might want to look at that a little bit differently than you're looking at it. Then that allows us to grow. We're here to grow, not to stay the same. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not learning, what's the point? What's the point of being here if you're just here? You're here to contribute. You're here to shine. You're here to shine for others. It takes all of us. So, I just wanted to let you know that. I wanted to share that with you. Those 5 categories. Because that's going to help you as you move forward. Remember, you need that right support. And if you don't have it, you need to build it. And you need to set those strong boundaries. You need to have that strong sense of self-worth. And recognize that it's all fear. Everything is fear and limitations that are holding you back. And once you understand that, once you overcome that fear, well then the sky is like not even the limit. You can go to the stars, you can go to the galaxies, you can fly as high as you want. And maybe you might need to flutter down to the ground to regroup and to get back into your cocoon and grow bigger wings. And at the same time, life's an adventure. Go as deep as you want. Go on the side quests. Like, meet the people on the adventure. Talk to the NPC characters. Learn what they have. Find those hidden treasures. Explore the paths that most people miss. One of the things I love about the video games is that I get to go through and I'll play the game through one time and then I'll go back and I'll get the treasures. I always go back and get the treasures. And I keep improving on my craft when it comes to the games. And you know, life's a game, and how I create things is a game. Even as I'm creating my videos, I'm not staying the same. I'm constantly reiterating. I'm constantly finding new ways to say something and improve. And each time I go back, I watch the magnificence, I edit the videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at me shine. I am so amazing that I'm able to do this. And I can't wait for people to discover this because it's going to change their lives. And they might not get all of it right away, but I'm going to scatter the magic anyway because I'm a little game master. And those who really want to go deep with me are going to find those pieces. Those who want to work with me, either in a collaboration or as my client, they're going to get so much love, so much support. I can't wait to call those people in. I can't wait. I'm calling it in, and it's going to come to me, and it's going to be awesome. And life is just this adventure. And I can't wait to see how my kids thrive. Because, you know, one day, when I'm old, and maybe I even pass on, those channels are going to be immortalized somewhere, even if it's not on the same platform. My books will exist. My kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, they will be able to know who I was. They're going to be able to follow the map. The people that followed me from the past, they might not be there anymore, but the legacy lives on. Because when you create something, when you create a piece of your soul, your consciousness, that allows that legacy to continue. You don't want to just go and do this in a way that harms. You want to do this in a way that is going to allow you to live on. So basically the anti-Horcrux, if you're going the Harry Potter route. Because instead of cutting away pieces of your soul to live forever and be evil, you are instead just putting your magic out there and replenishing yourself and constantly growing and having other people pour into you, because again, your friends and family need to be pouring into you, not just taking your magic. Okay? So, I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I am going to go and edit some videos now because, I've got so many that I need to get ready to schedule. And then, I don't know what I'll do. I think I'm just going to record this week. We'll see what comes up. I mean, if something came up all of a sudden that I've been waiting for a while. It has been a month since I flew. And, I know that a certain person has got their wings ready. They can fly so high. And, I saw an eagle twice in 2 days. And, I always think of him when I see eagles. So, I don't know what could come up. But, if he happened to be watching right now, he knows what to do. And he knows I'm waiting for him. And I'm proud of him. And he can fly through the door. The door's still open. I left it open for him to come fly after me. He can come get me because, otherwise I'm just going to keep flying and I'm just going to keep having fun. But, it would be really, really nice to just settle down in a nice big nest and, just build together. So, after all, the partner you choose needs to be a trampoline for your dreams, a sanctuary for your heart, and the safest place and biggest adventure. And, that's what he is to me, and I know that's what I am to him. So, I'm dockable. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.